I'm Anneke Schreuder and I'm one of the board members of LDA Texas, and my specialization is in dyscalculia. Math is my passion, awareness, communication, research and remediation of dyscalculia is my mission. Now, dyscalculia is a math learning disability that makes it difficult to do basic calculations. It's an inborn difference in how the brain processes numerical information. And you can help these learners to become more successful in math with specialized hands-on tutoring. It is akin to dyslexia. So if you are familiar with dyslexia, you will already know a lot about dyscalculia also, as you can see in this slide. Today, I'd like to share a few activities that you can do during these unprecedented times that parents are drawn into the teaching role. And you can do them with all children, irrespective if they have dyscalculia or that math comes easily to them. I will show you 3 short activities and then share the URL where you can download these and about 30 other activities, templates and games, all to help you in the process of learning math while being at home. And also how to show kids that math is all around us and that you can actually have fun with numbers and patterns. So here's a fun activity you can do at home with common household items like a coat hanger and some pegs. So the goal of this activity is to help your child learning the 10 bonds, which is very important for addition and subtraction. Now, the way I've set this up here is that you see 5 pegs on this side, which resembles the fingers of one hand, and also 5 pegs on that side, which resembles the 5 fingers of the other hand. And that helps your child to say, how many pegs do we have in total here? Yes, there are 10 pegs. Now, what can we do with this? You can push 1 peg over, and what happens now? So make sure that you leave a little bit of a space in between these 5 who resemble one hand, and this is 5 and 1 more, or if you have colored pegs, you can do 5 of one color and 5 of the other color, or you can put little stickers on it. Anyway, what we did is we pushed over 1 peg to the other side. Now, ask your student, what did you see here? On this side, 5 and 1 more is exactly 6 pegs. But what happened on the other side? You moved 1 away. So here we only have 4 left over. And that tells you the whole total here is still 10. So we see our 10 as a 6 and a 4. Well, you can push over 1 more peg or even 2 and do the whole thing again. And now say, what do you see? How do we see our 10 right now? As 7 pegs on that side and 3 on this side. So 10 is also 7 and 3. Now, although it might sound simple for you, it's really new for students to realize that you can turn around the fact. So now this shows that 3 and 7 is the same 10 as this 7 and 3. It's a new concept and kids actually like that. Other things that you can do here is say you move another few pegs over here outside of the view of your student, and you say, can you guess how many pegs I'm hiding here? And then obviously you change places and you let your child hide a few pegs and you need to guess. And guessing, making a mistake so that your child can actually correct you is also a fun part of this activity. Now, if you have some dice laying around, roll a dice and say you roll a 5. Ask your child, what do we need to do here to show the number of the dice, to show the 5? Yes, we need to move away or subtract 4 of the 9 to show 5. And this way you can go on, roll another time. You can also change the game and say whatever you roll, say a 3, what do we need to do to make that number on this side. So have fun with this cheap and easy activity. Math with household items. So young children really love counting and measuring, and you can use all kinds of things like crayons, paper clips. These are pencil grips, but you can also use raw pasta. All kinds of things are interesting for young children to count. And after just counting, they can maybe sort them by color and count by 2. And you can also measure things. So here's a way to measure something with crayons. Imagine you want to measure this little pencil box, and this is 1 crayon long, but you can also see that it's 2 pencil grips long. Now ask your child to measure other things with crayons and then with the pencil grips, and that helps them to see that there might be a connection, that every time you need twice as many pencil grips. But please do not divulge that information. Let them work with it and discover that themselves. You could also use the crayons to measure here this pencil box, which is 2 crayons high, and that means that you need 4 pencil grips. Any other combination that helps them to measure things is interesting for them to do. So here I have a few pencils, and the pencils can be used to measure how big this folder is. So what I see here is that we need 2 pencils to measure a folder. Now how many paper clips would you need for that? And first you put the paper clips next to each other, but probably your child can realize that for every pencil you need 3 paper clips. Now so far this is all very informal and nothing has been written down yet. So the next thing, if your child is still interested, try to make the jump to a double number line. Because if you measure something, say with these larger sticky notes, that is 1 sticky note that is countered by 2 small blue sticky notes here. And that means that you can actually make this double number line by saying 1 orange is connected to 2 blue stickies. You do the next sticky, and here you see that the 2 orange stickies now are countered by 4 blue stickies, and that is your starting for a proportional relationship. 2 and 4. I can do 1 more, and you can continue a pattern like this yourself. Talk about it with your child, what he or she observes and what this means for the connection between the numbers that are written above each other. You can even say that this is a half, this is 2/4, and this is 3/6, so you can help your student make the connection with equivalent fractions. Here you see a lot of Legos and what you can do with them. And if you are not aware that you have Legos in your house, usually walking barefoot or on socks through your kids' room might bring up some Legos here, so that worked for me also. The first thing we did was building all kind of structures, but also making patterns, which is part of math, and you can make the pattern as complicated as you like. Then the next thing we can do is skip counting, and here you see a skip counting by 2, you make a nice stair, and by disassembling it, you can help your kids seeing how many pips there were, 2, 4, 6, etc. And here you do the same thing, skip counting, but every time there is 4 more. So here you go 4, 8, 12, etc. Now here I built a number line, and it helps children to see parts in that number line, and here we made parts of 5, like we have 5 fingers on each hand, and this is a game, the race to 30, so 10, 20, 30. And what you do is you roll a dice, and this doctor here rolled a 4, so she can go ahead 4 steps, which is already helping your kid to see that this one forward is the first one you count, not the one where you already are, what some kids do. So she goes forward 4 steps, 1, 2, 3, 4, and now she's here, and her opponent is over here on this side of the number line. Now every time you roll a dice in this race to 30, ask your child how many steps the one who is first is ahead of number 2. And that actually helps them to see. Ask this with using the word difference. What is the difference between that? Or how many more steps does this person have to do to get even, to get at the same level as the other one, which helps them to see that finding the difference between 2 numbers doesn't have to be cumbersome counting down by 1, but counting up from the smallest number, so 1, 2, 3, 4, to get at the same place as the guy who is ahead. After playing the game to 30, you can also do the game back to 0, and your child then learns subtraction in the way going back on the number line also.